Hi, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac here on 1010XL's podcast platform, 1010XL.com, the 1010XL app, of course, live on Facebook, Good Morning Facebook, and then archived all over the social media and podcast platform world. Yeah, you'll see us on YouTube. We have our own 1010 Jaguar channel, the 1010 channel. Of course, you can see the Gators and the Knowles and all that kind of stuff as well, and we do it right here from the 1010 Podcast Studio. My show brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Just another great group. Just a great group of businesses that do it the right way. They're always there when you need them, no matter what the issue is. You may not need them today. You may not need new flooring. You may not need a get out of jail quick card. You may not need, some new meats to eat like Azar sausage. But when you do, you go to the best. And it's at Team Tommy Mac. Check us out. Team Tommy Mac at TommyMac.net. Lots to get into today. We're going to talk NFL divisional playoff round. Brings back a lot of memories, man. So much fun. Of course, we'll talk about the Jags and their coach and search as the first round of interviews seem to be wrapping up this weekend. Brian Flores this weekend. Waiting on, I know they did Ben Johnson virtually. I know there's going to be another round after that. Kellen Moore will be today as well. So if I'm squinting because I forgot my readers in the car and they didn't have time to go out and come back because, of course, they got the 1010XL Jaguars Today show on Friday with Mike Debs, Fat Tony, and Dylan. I just got done speaking at the Deerwood Rotary Club, which was fun. My good friend Bob Triglia, good family friend, a good friend of mine, reached out, came out, and saw a bunch of guys I've known over the years. Man, being here for 30 years now, coming up, you just meet so many people, so many good people. And I said I stayed here for this whole time because of the people. And you guys are great, man. Now we just got to get our team going and make sure that the Jags do everything they can do. But we'll talk about the search. We'll talk about the divisional playoff round. This is a big one, like I said. I went through the odds. We'll talk about that, and we'll get into that and, man, much, much more. I got to tell you a quick story. Yesterday on the Horse's Mouth, had a great show. We always have a great show. Brian Barker came by. My teammates are always welcome. Beasley comes by. It's fantastic. Lonnie Marks has been on. A lot of guys been on. Coach Campbell was there. We had a magazine from St. Augustine. They brought their art contributor and their music contributor, and the young girl, Shayla, played a song, an original, right at the bar. I love that show. It's a fantastic show. But anyway, I'm talking, every panel that came in because the Jags, with the coach and search and whatnot. So what kind of coach you guys want? After we got through the whole rigmarole, what we're doing there, and what kind of coach you looking for? And I go to this young man who's at the bar, and he goes, well, for one, I think the head coach should know when his D-line is out at the tavern in Jags Beach getting hammered the night before the game. And I was like, whoa, I didn't see that one coming. It was pretty funny. You'll get a chance to see it. It's at dailynewsnetwork.com. You check it out, The Horse's Mouth. And it's fun. The reaction's great. Even Campo was there like, whoa. But, look, I went out plenty as a single before I put BK on the Twitter post earlier. Before Christina, I'd go out 3 to 4 nights a week while I was playing. Never the night before a game. I don't know how guys could, especially if you stay out late. Now, if you're, start early, end early, I don't think it's that big of a deal, maybe. But I never felt comfortable doing it. Now, going out Friday night, oh yeah, all day long, and if we were playing on Monday night, going out Saturday, yeah, and what it became, especially when we started winning in '96, me and my buddy P. Mitchell, we'd be like, man, we can't break the the way we're doing it. You're gonna jinx it if you change it. So I had it my idea, at least back then, I felt was perfect for me because we'd go out hard Friday night, stay out late, be up late. If it was a home game, you check into the hotel. I'm like REM by 9 a.m. It was funny. Me and Mitch, we'd done with meetings, done with our snack. We getting in, getting ready to watch TV. Hey, let's pick a movie. I literally minute in, I'm rolling over, and he'd be like, all right, good night, man. It got to be like this running joke. He was a night owl. I'd crash. But I'd wake up Sunday, man, ready to just absolutely rock and roll. And enjoy doing it. I know Freddie T had said when he went for 234 up in Pittsburgh, he was hungover or what. I don't know if that was from the night before or 2 nights. I don't know how guys did that, and I don't have a problem that anybody does that as long as what? You're performing at a high level. You're winning, right? You're not losing. You're not getting your ass kicked. You're not getting tired, that kind of, the old school, man, they went out all the time. They went out night before games, without a doubt. But there was never, so what? We still get up. We still go to work. We still go out and play this game full speed. We might take some speed to get us back in the game, whatever. But there was no, going out and then not performing well. And back to when I was going out, listen, my teammates and my coaches knew, I'm sure they knew, the coaches knew that we went out. There was a group of us, but we all came back the next one. We all worked hard. We all sweated it out, and we all, participated the right way and had the right attitude. So if you win, I don't really have a problem with it. When you lose, and you put specifically that interior defense, and I don't know the names, I didn't ask, and I don't really care. You can do what you want. It's your life, and I'm surprised that I don't want to say it was allowed because they're grown men. I don't think you can really find them as long as they're in by curfew, whenever that curfew was. Now, I don't know if Doug allowed the team to, when it was a home game, to stay at their houses. Some coaches do that, but you got to make sure look, if you go out and have a few drinks, I don't think that's a big deal night before a game. As long as you're in bed by like 11, and you get up at 9 or whatever, 8, you got a good 9 hours sleep, and you drank a bunch of water, and you prepare, that kind of stuff. That's not a big deal. And I don't know, he said hammered. Who knows what that is, but he's seeing guys night before the game. I just think, man, when you, hey, good morning, Dale. When you're not winning and performing well, you should be embarrassed, especially in this town. It's so tight. It's such a tight-knit community, and your people are still going to be nice to you, and of course they should be, as long as you're nice to them. But you shouldn't be out and about. I mean, I know, look, 4-12 the first year we did that, I think it was new, but we started winning in 96, and it became this big community. Remember how great that was, 96 through 99? And, we'd be out and about, all different groups, and it was all one big happy family. And, we had guys that enjoyed meeting people, that enjoyed being, saying hello to people and hanging out. And you fans, man, you got all excited, and we started winning. It was absolutely great. I mean, look, me and Mitch were living in Pelican Point. We're on the 6th floor. We had a great corner spot. And when we were 3 and 6, like, people wouldn't really talk to us. They say hello, but kind of walk by, like, hey, guys, I hope you're doing okay, kind of thing. And then we go on this run. Now they're leaving us, like, buckets of beer, cookies, brownies, all types of stuff. And then they'd sit like, oh, we're so, and it was great because winning does that. And especially for a community like this, for a town like this, for a city like this, that's what winning does, man. It just brings everyone together. Everybody's happy. Everybody's excited. And that's why it's important. And it's important for the players to be a winning product and be good off the field. And again, you want to go out night before, I don't really care. Just show up on Sunday and kick some ass. The old school guys did it. They did it. You hear those stories. Or I did. Granted, so 93, 3 years removed from the 80s, they say, those NFL players were absolutely nuts, man. They were just nuts. I mean, they go out, they'd be drinking drugs and whatever. They tell the team doctor what they are on the night before just in case anything happened, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they took something before to get going. You hear the stories of LT, like being like almost passed out drunk, and they finally get him going, and he has 4 sacks, I mean, I don't know. Again, if you can do it, whatever, as long as you're not hurting yourself or the team or others. But that was interesting coming at the counter of the horse's mouth. Always a good time at the bar, man. Absolutely. Hey, who has watched the Aaron Rodgers documentary? Have you checked that out? That 3-part series on Netflix. It's interesting. I think Aaron's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I think he is I don't know if today, but one of the most gifted guys in the league. The arm, the feet. The awareness, really smart guy. You see it in the documentary. It does a lot with math. It was kind of cool. I was, talking about reading coverages and looking at different things. He's a little out there. He is, but I I kind of get it, especially what he says about his childhood and his day. He felt like he didn't really fit in with his family. And it was all centered around religion. At least the documentary made it seem that way. And that he felt it was like, man, you're either in or you're out, and there's no in between. He's like, I couldn't get around that. He's searching. He's still searching. And I'll give something away. He wins the first Super Bowl, and he's like, this is great. Well, awesome. And then he's like, I'm sitting on the bus. I'm like, now what? Now what? Now we go after it again, right? But it's like that minute of what am I? Who am I kind of thing. But anyway, I don't care about what he says. He's really outspoken. He can say whatever he wants. It doesn't mean you have to agree or even listen to it. And I can't remember exactly what he said. Well, they do talk about when he said I'm immunized or whatever. Whatever. I don't care. This is a free country. But nonetheless, it's interesting if you want to check it out. I thought it was anyway. It's on Netflix, like I said. All right, let's look real quick at this NFL divisional playoff round. Who remembers going out to Denver and beating the Broncos? I'll never forget going out pregame. It's not even pregame. We're going out. A lot of times, as you see, if you get to the stadium early, guys go out, they warm up. Some are in their pants, their football pants. Some are just in shorts. And we're walking out, and I'm walking out with Yurko. And Yurko's like, son of a bitch. And I was like, what? He's like, look over there in that far corner. I'm like, you dumbass. I'm like, what? I don't know what that is. He's like, that's a stage for the pregame show for next week. I was like, get out of here. They already built it for next week. Like, they're just assuming they're going to win this game. And he's like, yeah, and that just pissed us off. The Jaguars, the Jaguars article that Woody Page wrote, that was plastered all inside the locker room. We were like, all right, let's go pick a fight. And we did. We caught him at the right time. Hey, listen, Denver was loaded that year. That's an any given Sunday moment. I mean, think about that. That's when, because us Jags, look, we were on the rise. There's no doubt. We were 9-7. Woulda, shoulda, coulda been 11-5. Without question. New Orleans was one. St. Louis was another. And there might have been one more. But nonetheless, we were what we were. We were 9-7. But we had a plenty of talent, plenty of guys, superstars in the making with Jimmy and Mark and Keenan. Natron Means went on an incredible run. Our O-line was incredible. I mean, we had a good team. Now, we weren't as loaded maybe as Denver, and they would won 13 games that year. They had the week off. I can't remember if they played the last week or not. So were they rusty? I don't know. But nonetheless, we caught them. And they went up 12-0, if you remember. They went up because we were like, whoa. And then we settled down, and you do, man. Once you get over that initial rush of speed, we were talking yesterday about the Miami Hurricanes and speed. And I was like, I remember them coming in BC in 91. The first series, they're like, holy damn, like these guys are so fast. And then you're like, oh, wait, I could take a different angle and maybe get them, right? Ended up getting 19 tackles. So I eventually figured it out, and we almost beat them 19-15 on national TV. I remind that of Leon Searcy all the time, but they did beat us. So hats off to them. But that was an any given Sunday moment when we beat. Same with Buffalo when we beat Buffalo. Same with beating the Denver Broncos in the divisional playoff round. Houston will travel to Kansas City. Kansas City favored by 8. I think KC's got something to prove. I was very impressed by Houston last week. I thought Justin Herbert would have had a day. He got panicked. He did. He got rattled. He should take off and run. That's one thing, and I think Trevor needs to do more of it. I know he got hurt running. You can't slide straight up and down like you're stealing second base. You know what I mean? You can't. You got to get your ass down. It was a late hit, I know, but to protect himself for future, or dive, or I don't know, make the guy miss if you can. You know what I mean? I don't know, do something. Just don't be this wide open target that's going to take a massive shot. He's athletic enough to do it, and that's why Jalen Hurts is excited. Mahomes takes off all the time. If things aren't there, man, he's like, hey, I'll just take off and get the first down or get close to it. Josh Allen, all these quarterbacks for the most part do. Well, you know what? Look at Baker last week with that run bouncing off dudes. He wanted it. So you got to be able to move and get out of dodge if you have to. I know maybe Stafford's not that. Lamar's unbelievable. Goff can do a little bit. Daniels, what do you think about? Could Washington upset Detroit? Could they? Listen, here's the thing. And I'll go back. We beat Buffalo. Nobody thought we'd beat Buffalo. Buffalo was undefeated at home in the playoffs in the history of their organization. Nobody thought we'd beat them. They went up on us early, too. And we clawed back, came back, and Clyde made that big play on defense. And then Mark, Mark threw a late interception late in the third quarter. That was tough for a pick six. But we came back. We ended up winning the game. Money Mike Hollis hits the goalpost. Thing goes in. We win 30-27. Now we're like, hell yeah, man. We can hang. We had that confidence, and you have that confidence. So Houston should be confident, and Washington should be confident, without a doubt. I don't think Houston has any chance to upset Kansas City. I don't. I think Kansas City is going to prove a point this Saturday. I do. Look, if I am them, I'm attacking the tackles just like they did a week ago against the Chargers, which is crazy because Slater's a pretty good tackle, but man, they worked him last week. Can Houston do enough? I don't think so. I think KC's defense will rise to the occasion. They always seem to do that. They've got a great O-line. I don't know about I'd probably take the 8. Now, granted, don't listen to me on what I would do because I didn't win a bet last week at all. Not even my parlays. I didn't even win a freaking bet, man. It's just they're small bets, $10, $15, but it's like, come on, man, you got to win one of these. But yeah, maybe KC, Washington at Detroit. The only way Washington can pull this off is either they get up early or they hang tight, through halftime. You know what I mean? Like it's a close game and they're right there and maybe they had to settle for 3 instead of, that could give them a chance. I'm looking forward to seeing Detroit. Let me ask you this. If Detroit loses and their offense doesn't perform well, are you knocking Ben Johnson down the ladder that some of you have him up on the top rung? Is that going to factor in? Should it factor in? I think we'll see how the game plan goes. But the only way Washington can hang, I think, is if they can get something going early. They are a 9.5-point dog, the Redskins, or the Commander, or Washington football team. We'll leave them at that. Commanders, I don't know. I just don't like it. Washington football team. I might take the points with that one. Maybe. But that should be – I love Saturday, Sunday playoff games. They're the best. Grammage just walked in. What's up, Grammage? How you doing, buddy?
We got an electric weekend of ball
coming
up.
No doubt. And Monday, capping it off with the national title game.
Dude.
I cannot root for Notre Dame. I can't root for Ohio State. I just want to see a great game. I don't like Ohio State, and I don't like Notre Dame. Whatever. I want to see a good game.
I got an inkling that Ohio State is going to run them out of the stadium.
I kind of have a feeling they might, too.
I think we've seen a lot of times over the years a team that's sort of it's not – Notre Dame is not a Cinderella team. They're a really talented roster that's a really, really good football team.
I like their coach. Freeman's a great coach.
But they've had sort of a magical ride kind of run in the playoffs where they've really started to play well and really caught fire.
Listen, my brother played ball at Northern Illinois, and he said if you lose to Northern Illinois at any time in the year, you have a problem with your football team.
And I think their quarterback, Riley Leonard, who is a good runner, very limited down the field.
Yes, he is.
They really struggle to get the ball vertical.
Yep.
And you just can't play Ohio State in a box.
No,
you
they're
can't.
Physical
They're physical. Yep. They're fast. They got ball skill. They're just too good. And I think a lot of times those kind of magical rides end in championship games in ugly fashion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at TCU a few years ago. Remember when Georgia just slaughtered him?
Yeah, slaughtered him. Everyone thought TCU was a darling. What was the quarterback's name? Is he still playing? Remember, he's
Max Duggan.
Yeah, redheaded dude.
He's a
backup somewhere.
He's a backup or practice squad on somebody's roster. I forget who, but
good for him. All right, so looking at Sunday's games, listen, Philly should just pound Saquon and Hurts, and they'll win this game. I think they ran
against
all
the
over
Rams
the first time. Yeah, and look, hats off to the Rams. That defense, I love an aggressive defense, and that coordinator Shula. He was bringing the freaking heat, man. He was not. I love a coach that's not afraid to blitz. Now, the players got to get there. Just because you call it doesn't mean it's a good thing unless they get there, unless they beat that back, unless they beat the protection up front. But I like a coordinator that's not afraid to lay it on the line and go get it. Because guess what? You got to make your decision that much quicker. And if that quarterback's not really good at pre-snap yet, you're going to take advantage of him. Now, if he's good at pre-snap, like he knows where to go if you're coming, you have problems. You got to really time it up and get in his face and try to get up in the air. But I like a coach that's aggressive like that. Philly's a 6.5-point favorite. I'm probably taking that. I think they're gonna handle. I think Philly's gonna be in the Super Bowl. I do. I think they can beat Detroit. Granted, I want to see this weekend, but as I sit here today, I think Detroit and that defense can be beatable. And now, can you get to Goff and can you at least slow down Gibbs? That's tall order. They had a good, really good, probably the best. Some say the best O-line in the National Football League, the Detroit Lions. But we'll see about that. And then the nightcap, MVP. Baltimore, 1-point favorite on the road in frigid temperatures up in Buffalo. I don't know. I think Buffalo's a team of destiny. Now, granted, I don't know how they're going to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. That's going to be a big challenge. They got tight ends, too. We know those. We love Isaiah. And, of course, Mark Andrews, one of the better ones in the game. Is Zay playing? Is Zay Flowers playing? He was injured last week. Yeah, I don't know if he's playing. They could utilize him. But, I don't know, Buffalo at home, freezing temperatures, and Josh Allen taking over. Can it happen? Can the interior of that offensive line handle the interior, that really good defensive front?
Zay Flowers is not expected to play.
He's not expected to play.
Sorry, Coach Jeff.
Well, it's going to be a lot of running. And in that cold weather, that's what you want. And you know what? This is what Derrick Henry's built for, right? This is what Lamar Jackson is built for. You're going to still throw the ball, there's no doubt. But you're going to use those legs a lot, too, in those frigid temperatures. So we'll see. I don't know. I think Buffalo's a team of destiny, but that goes without me seeing Kansas City in the playoffs yet, because I think Kansas City, they're going to have something to prove, like I said earlier. I think they're going to we'd all be shocked if Houston wins this game, but I think Kansas City's going to beat them by 2 scores. I don't think they're going to run them out of the gym kind of deal. I don't think, but I think
the game will never really be in doubt.
It might be close in the first half, feeling each other out kind of deal. And then that's the one thing we don't take advantage of in Jacks. We're having halftime adjustments. Don't seem to happen. Now, they did against San Diego in the playoff, right? But since then, I don't know. Big. When you can adjust during halftime and then take advantage, because now that you know where the weakness is and you can exploit it, man, just changes the whole outcome of the game, changes momentum, changes everything.
I thought in that game, when we beat the Chargers, the adjustment was honestly made a little before half.
Yeah, right.
That last
that's
drive,
right. Yeah.
They started.
They scored before the half. That's right.
If you remember, something they started doing that was killing the Chargers was swing passes to ETN.
Yeah.
Like either side.
Yep. And
you get those receivers out blocking because they were playing way off and sitting on coverage.
Yep.
It was like a free 6 or 7 yards every time.
Yep.
And they got all the way down the field and then hit the touchdown to Ingram, and they were confident.
They figured that out on us, that you can't run that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, how many bubble screens have we seen over the past?
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean?
It feels like that was the last adjustment this team made.
How many bubble screens at the exact wrong time have we seen?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Over. I was in front of Rotary, like I said earlier, and I tell them, like I watch the film on Monday. I'm taking notes on it. Every loss was lost almost the same exact way. Have a lead, defense gives it up. Missed assignment, blown coverage, offsides, whatever. Make a change. We'll see who comes in. All right, before I get into my question of the day, and I'll let Grammage get in, let me, of course, remind you about Team Tommy Mac, just a group of businesses that I love endorsing, man. They're absolutely fantastic. Morgan & Morgan is new to the team, but so glad that they are on board. The largest personal injury law firm all throughout the world. We'll just say that, man. Make sure you go to forthepeople.com. Chris Lucero's bail bonds. Hey, you got to get out of the clink in a blink. That's what he does. He gets you out. His team will get you out quick. Got the right relationships and the resources to do just that. 904-822-2255. 45 Carpet Man Flooring. It's more than just LVP. Carpet Man's LVP. Carpet Man. He's got more than LVP, luxury vinyl planking. He's also got all types of flooring at the highest quality and the lowest prices. CarpetMan.biz. J-Dog Junk Removal and hauling. That's hauling for all your construction debris. So keep that in mind, you contractors out there and home builders. And if you have anything at home or in your office that you're going to upgrade or replace, make sure you give J-Dog a call, and they will come and pick up that and refurbish it and give it to needy families, veteran families in need, veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog. Go to jdog.com. Fields Cadillac, you know where they're at Blanding and I-295, and down at the St. Augustine Outlet Mall. Title sponsor of Riding Shotgun. Looking forward to getting that back in action. Listen, man, they got I get to drive the most kick-ass vehicles on that Riding Shotgun show, whether it's fully gassed up, it's a hybrid, or it's a EV. They got it all for you. Luxury at its finest, no question. Azar Sausage, homegrown and down home. Third generation. Phil and John do a great job, and their team. And I tell you what, it's the best out there. So whether in your favorite dish or in a bun, Azar Sausage is the one. Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, I was over there yesterday, man. They are just rocking and rolling in deals, whether it's investment sales, industrial office, development, retail. They do it all, and they handle it all with integrity. These guys been around together for a long time. Used to work for them. Didn't last very long, maybe a couple years, but I enjoyed it. And we've remained friends for a lifetime. They're absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. PhoenixRealty.net. Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's. Listen, when you're talking, I just made this up, Graham. You ready? And I got approval by the owner, so here we go. If we're talking hot sauces, forget the other hose. It's always Coconut Joe's. That's right. Go to Family Traditions, SpecialtyFoods.com website. Put Pound Team Tommy Mac in the discount code bar and get a BOGO. Free Salt Air Inn and Suites, a boutique hotel located 4 blocks from the ocean, 2 blocks from all the action, part of the Neptune Beach Town Center. That's right. Make sure you check them out, whether you want to stay the night, the weekend, or bring the family down from that cold weather when it gets a little warmer, of course, and bring them to Salt Air Inn and Suites. You get all that luxury in a boutique hotel. It's fantastic. And concierge service up and down the beach included. Code Ninja's a great school for your teens or even your young kids, ages 5 to 15. Learn about coding. Learn about AI. Learn about security. You'll work with roadblocks. You'll work with all types of technology. You'll earn your belts along the way. And when you become a black belt, you get to develop your own personal video game. Freedom Finance, my man, Courtney Myers. Listen, he's a fractional CFO for you and offers tons of services, whether it's like looking at your books, making sure it's all taken care of, forecasting, raising funds, anything and everything when it comes to the financial aspect. Early stage, startup, mid stage, make sure you check out Freedom Finance at freedomfinance.LLC, freedomfinance.llc. And last but not least, Michael Nickus' State Farm Agency. Hey, man, he's been my agent for over 2 decades, and give him a chance to be yours. Auto, home, life, and supplemental health. 904-777-6888, and him and his team always available for you 24/7. Great to have everybody on Team Tommy Mac. We got room for more, so if you like personal endorsements from Tommy Mac, give me a ring and do it on Messenger, and we'll talk. No question about that. All right, here's a question of the day, I guess. When you talk about Brian Flores, okay, who's going to be interviewed, I think today. I think him and Kellen Moore are being interviewed today. Why would you say no? And before you answer, is it because of the way he handled Tua in Miami? He's been with Minnesota now. They seem to like him. Obviously, the interview, you're going to dive into the Miami situation, and you're also going to find out what has he learned from that, and how is he going to be different, because that's not going to work with our guy. We don't want that, right? And that's okay. That's okay. I think he was, I don't know what he was saying to him. It was pretty harsh from what I get. Listen, I'm all about tough love, and every Jaguar player needs a little bit, but it's got to be better delivery. It's not that hammer, and it's more love than tough, but you got to have that accountability. He'll bring accountability. So I know why, and he's not on top of my list. But if he ends up being the head coach, of course I want to know how he's going to run the offense. I want to know who his coordinator is. But if he ends up being it, I'm going to be behind anybody that they. It's not like I'm going to go against him. I'm going to pull for him. I just think we're in a really risky situation here in Jacksonville. And if one of these first-time offensive coordinators don't work out, it's 3 years of another not good. I don't know how good or how bad, but not good. So can you mitigate? I think you can mitigate it with a first-time head coach, going to be a second time. Like Vrabel, I think Vrabel's going to be perfect for New England. Not just because he played there, but he's just going to bring back the kind of more like Bill, more that, hey, there's no goofing around. You got a job to do. I mean, think about, again, going back to what I was saying earlier today, we lost the same way, and I got a flyer. We lost the same way every single time. How do you not fix those mistakes without having some kind of accountability? Players included. You can't, is a question. So hopefully whoever they bring in, they can fix it. But real quick, why not Brian Flores in your opinion? I got to go. I didn't know I was up against it for Jaguars today.
We have disagreed on this topic.
Yep.
To me, Brian Flores is every bit as much of a risk as a first-time head coach would be.
Why? His record's pretty good.
Right, but he also...
I mean, overall, it's not, but the 1 year was funky, and he didn't take the money to tank. Remember that? That was a big thing.
But I just
He's
think...
got integrity.
We've talked about this before. The most important thing is getting Trevor Lawrence right. Well, at least to me, the most important thing is
I don't think that, but I know you do.
Yeah.
We're on opposite sides of that.
But, I mean, I don't know. I'd get behind him, but I'd rather have one of the coordinators.
Okay. I think I'd rather have Aaron Glenn over all the first-timers, to be honest with you, and let's see who he brings in offense. I like what he said recently. Hey, I'm a defensive coach, but I know the offense as well as everybody. So we'll see. All right, I got to fly. Thanks so much for being here. Going on Jaguars today. Check us out at 92.5, and we'll be here next Tuesday with Catching Up with Tommy Mac, brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Thanks to all of them, and you all have a fantastic weekend. Peace and love to you and your families. All right, see you next time.